Alright, so this is how we sit right now. I got a lot of shit done over the weekend. Start with the car first. Got it painted a little bit, just hit it up real quick with like a color match can. Got the tubular K-member on. I cleaned up the stock A-arms and springs and stuff. They were already pretty clean. The car only had like 40,000 miles, so. Those are the 4-cylinder ones that are the same as the VA A-arms. I ended up getting the Unisteer manual rack. You have to run offset rack bushings to kind of clear the oil pan a little bit, push the rack down a little bit, so that's what I did. And even if I would have ran the stock springs, I mean the stock bushings for the rack, even if it pushed it up a little bit, it wasn't going to be enough to for the shaft, for the steering shaft. So I had to have that extended about 1.25 inches. On the reviews, it did say something about it, so I was kind of ready for that. Had it extended about 1.25 inches. Took it to a motor shop. They charged me like $10 to extend it, so not really a big deal. But you will have to extend it, and that's for the Unisteer. I don't know if it's the if it's the rack or if it's the K-member. Can't remember where I read it that it was going to need to be extended or it wasn't long enough. So I got that. I am going to be running AC, so I put that back in there. Got the manual brakes back on. Put the electric gas pedal on. I'll show you guys right now. You just got to cut a little piece of the pedal off. So I cut and flared my own lines. It was my first time doing it. It was really easy. Just take your time with it. There's a good video, like a couple good videos on YouTube about it. But I just went and bought this little T 2-to-1 because the Ranger or like the Cobra style master cylinder only has 2 ports. So how to convert that. Other than that, the motor's pretty much ready to go in now. I was told, some people say you got to drop the K-member to kind of give the long tube space to go in. Other people have told me that you can do it like that with the long tubes on, K-member in place, and just drop it in over the top. So I'll see when I get there. I'm probably going to wait for somebody else to come help me with it because it's a big ass motor. But so this is a QuickTime bell housing with the BBK long tubes. I didn't get the ceramic ones because I was reading the reviews. They said it probably lasts a couple months and then they end up changing colors like the chrome ones do. So I said, fuck it, I'll just get these. Oh damn, I didn't even notice that. Look at that, it's kind of bent right there. Yeah, I might have to call. Probably get that replaced or something. So I ran the center force clutch with the OEM stock 2017 pressure plate and flywheel. I just changed the clutch disc to accommodate the 26 spline on the T56 Magnum that I'm going to be running, and everything fit right up. Pretty much everything was brand new on this motor, so I said fuck it, I'll just reuse it if I can save some money on that. I got the little deletes on now. They delete the little valves that are back here, so little canister valves, whatever you want to call them. It's pretty much it's ready to go in. I was told before that the starter wouldn't work, that you had to run like a 4.6 starter. But I've been kind of looking at part numbers and stuff, and I guess the 15 to 17 came with a mini starter already. It didn't have that big bulky starter that the 11 to 14s come with. So pretty much if you order the kit from LMR, it'll come with the 96 to 04 starter, and this is what they'll give you pretty much, is this starter right here. So this is the OEM regular 15 to 17 starter, and a bolt right up to the bell housing. Good amount of clearance with the long tubes. Got the motor mounts from the AJE K-member bolted up. Again, LMR, where I got the long tubes from. I guess these are long tubes, or maybe like the kit or whatever is made for 11 to 14 swaps. So the bolts they send you, I was gonna keep the studs anyway. There was like 1 or 2 where you can't get the nut in here, so you got to kind of pull the, as you put the long tube on, you got to put the nut on there on the stud. but I was gonna run the bolts on there, but I couldn't because the threaded pitch is different on these heads than it is on the 11 to 14 head. That, and then the extensions that they send you for the O2 sensors is for an 11 to 14, not for a 15 to 17. So I gotta call them and see if I can swap them out, or I'm gonna have to buy some 15 to 17 extensions, and then bolts, header bolts, because there's like 2 of them. There's another one down here. See if you guys can see it. Not really. Where you kind of gotta, let me see, where's it at? There it is. Where you gotta kind of, you'll see what I mean. You can't just put the nut on there. You gotta put it on at the same time as the header. So that's one thing. Calling them to see if I can do that. And then that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's pretty much ready to go in. Again, once I get it in, then I'm gonna buy like the transmission and all that. I just kind of ran the harness right there like before, trying to see where I'm gonna mount the fuse box. And then once I get it in, then I'll really start running that. And I'm gonna order the fuel system kit from LMR. And then we'll go from there. So yeah, it's getting there. Not trying to rush it, just working little by little. Let me show you guys the pedals. All right, so here's the pedals. I'm gonna see, I have the OEM pedals from the 15-17. I'm gonna see if I can have this cut, or maybe weld a little plate from the other one, so it'll all the pedals will match. This is a Maximum Motorsports manual brake kit pedal, so that one's gonna look different, obviously. And that's the one that comes in the control pack, and this is just like a regular Foxbody clutch pedal. It doesn't have the pad, but I'm gonna see if I could fit the one like this on here, at least so those two match. And then I think it's J and M or something like that, but LMR has it. That bracket back here, you kind of see it. It's a bracket, that way it bolts up the, you can just bolt up the gas pedal, and it pretty much puts it in a good spot. It has like kind of like an angle on it, so that way it kind of sits up a little bit. But that's really easy. You just have to cut one of the tabs off. There's like 3 or 4 mounting points on the, 3 mounting points on the gas pedal, on the OEM gas pedal from the Coyote. You just have to cut one of them off, that way it doesn't hit up here. Cut it off, and then it just mounts right up. So that's done. So yeah, once I drop it in, I'll make a video or something, let you guys know how I did it, or what I ran into, or what wasn't working, or what was hitting, or whatever. And then let you guys know once it's in there.